Good morning. Now, those of you who follow my channel know that I've been quite an advocate of Xbox Game Pass, and I think it's a very good value for money proposition. And if you're buying an Xbox, then getting Game Pass day one is probably your best value for money option. But what about PlayStation Now? I've not talked much about PlayStation Now. I did make a video about it some months ago, but I haven't really said anything since. And I have been playing around with it a little bit, and I actually do think it's a service that you probably shouldn't be discounting. With all the talk about Xbox and Game Pass and all the rest of it, PlayStation Now has kind of bubbled under, really, and no one's talking about it. So, as I say, I want to redress the balance somewhat this morning. So, as you can see, we're on the PlayStation at the moment. I do want to talk about PlayStation Now on PC as well. And as you can see, I've got PlayStation Now up on my PC as well, and we'll go to that in a moment. First things first, though, let's talk about some of the pros and cons of PlayStation Now. And let's just go into it. So it'll load up. And while that's doing it, let's talk a little bit about the back catalogue. And as you can see, that didn't take very long to load up at all. And the back catalogue, as you can see here, is pretty good. You've got trending, a whole load of stuff in there. Recently added, and they've recently added Days Gone, and we'll talk about that in a moment. PlayStation Now collections, you've got downloadable, PlayStation 4 games, exclusives, PlayStation 2 games, PlayStation 3 games. Now, most of these games on the PlayStation at least, it's different on PC, but on PlayStation at least, most of these games you can actually download and play from the hard drive now. The exception is PlayStation 3 games, none of which will play from the hard drive. So you do have to stream those. And when we get to PC, it's basically you have to stream all the games on PC because obviously the PC isn't a PlayStation, so it hasn't got the hardware to actually play those games. So you will have to stream there. But, as I say, it does have a very good collection of games. Now, there are some missing games. MotorStorm, the Pacific Rift specifically, is not on there. And in fact, most of the MotorStorm games that came out on PlayStation 3 aren't there. All the God of War games, up until the most recent one, though, are on the service. And so, like I say, you know, if you look through here, I'm not covering everything. You've got Bloodborne there, you've got some newer stuff, Vampire, got the Fallout games. Whether they'll stay on there is a matter for debate, but we will see. And yeah, Killzone Shadowfall, and so on and so forth. There is a good selection of games. And furthermore, on the PlayStation, your way of finding them is actually pretty good as well. You've got Home here, and then you've got Your Games. So I can load up a list of games I've played and a list of games that I've created as well. So these are the games that I've created or the list of games that I want to go in and play. I just stuck a few on there this morning just to show what's available and how you can set these up and you can add to your list. And I added Days Gone this morning and I've been playing that via streaming on my PC, but we'll get to that in a minute. If you go back to the top, you've also got Browse. So you can just go and browse those collections. And if we go into PlayStation 4 games briefly, there's a whole list of the PlayStation 4 games. And for some reason, we've lost the signal. It's back. Keeps losing its signal for some reason. But you can see there's quite a lot of PlayStation 4 games, but not many of the newer titles. And that's something that I would like to, talk about a little bit here. I think that Microsoft has got this right. And I know some people aren't necessarily going to agree with me here. But I think Microsoft have got this right in as much as they're adding their first-party titles day and day on Game Pass. And I think that gives people an added incentive to get Game Pass. If you've got Game Pass, you don't need to go out and buy the latest Halo game or the latest Gears game or the latest Forza game because they are coming day and date to Game Pass. That's not quite how Sony are doing it, and it does take a little while for these games to turn up. And as I said, if we go back, you can go along. Let's go up to the top here. Go along to home. They've just literally added Days Gone in recently, and you've got Hitman 2. Hitman 3 is out now. So they are a little way behind as regards newer games. But as I said before, it is a good entry point to the service, or to PlayStation. And the price is good as well. If you actually look at what they were charging, it was about £12.99, that's pounds a month. Now, I made a video and I actually complained about the price, and I said it was too expensive. Now, though, it's $9.99 a month, or £8.99 a month, or you can actually buy it for 12 months for $49.99. Now, that $49.99 is giving it to you on PlayStation and on PC, so you could actually get it on PC and then stream your games to PC and dip your toe in and have a look and see, do you like the PlayStation games? And then maybe go and buy a PlayStation down the line. So that's pretty good. And if we go into, let's have a look. We go into the PC briefly. Let's just scroll through that. Can I actually get that up and running? Will it? Oh, no, I'm using my, there you go, use my mouse there. If we go into PlayStation Now on PC, which is where we are now, the streaming I experienced playing Days Gone earlier this morning was very, very good. And so that was quite impressive. Whether it's best in class, I couldn't tell you. I have compared it to Stadia, and I have compared it to xCloud, and it does seem to compare pretty favorably in my experience. I've got about 100 gigabits per second in the office. I can get higher than that, but in the office, I've got a bit of a black spot in here, but I get about 100 gigabits per second all the same. So I get a pretty good streaming service in here, and playing Days Gone this morning was pretty good. It didn't look quite as good as it would do natively on the PlayStation, but it did play well. So that was good. The only thing here, though, is if you look at the menus, when we were on the PlayStation, we had the options to go in and go through all the different, if I just go back in there again, let me see, if we go up here, go out, there you go, home, your games, browse and search. This is on the PlayStation. Let's just go back again. This is on the PC. You haven't got those options. This is all you get on the PC. You've got trending, recently added, family friendly. There's no search options, no other options really. You've got your list, and that's it. The other thing that I found when I was playing Days Gone, if I play Days Gone on the PlayStation and I play it on PlayStation Now, then my saves obviously transfer across between PlayStation and PC. But what I found was when I played it on the PC, like I said before, I was streaming it on the PC this morning. When I did that and I streamed it on PC, I played for a little while and I saved my game. So let's just go into that briefly and do that now. Press any button. There you go. And as you can see here, we've got continue game, load game, new game, options. Let's just go into options briefly. You can see under options that I've got invert vertical for on foot. And if we go on to bike, I've got invert vertical on bike as well. So I've changed some of the settings. I've also got the option to load game. If we go in there, gives me various different options of the saves that I've got. And just go back out of there. And I've also got the option to continue. So obviously I've been playing the game. And so that's cool. But if we just go out of there a second and back to the home screen, let's just get out of there and close game. Yes, close game. And we're back. So let's just go back out of there. go home. Right, so now we're back at the home screen. Now, if we go over to the PlayStation now, I'm just going to do that now. It's going to ask me to log back in because it logged me out when I went in under the PlayStation Now service. So it's going to log me back in. Right, so I've got PlayStation Now up. If we go into PlayStation Now here, you can see we're back into the PC option. Sorry, the Xbox. We're back in the PlayStation options. And you've got your games, browse, search, and all the rest of it. If we go down a bit, you can see recently added and all these options. If I go into my games, make it a bit quicker. And we go into Days Gone here. Stream now. Let's just stream it for now. Continue. The following up. Yeah, okay, that's fine. Because I was playing Days Gone actually on the PlayStation itself rather than streaming. And it's starting the process of streaming it. And it's going to take a while again. And as you can see, we've loaded it up now. And as you can see here now, it says continue, load game. So we've got the same options as we had before, which you would expect because we're streaming it. New game options. And you should see that we've got inverted there. And we've also got inverted when we're on the bike as well. So those options have been changed. And everything is the same as it was when I was playing on PC. However, if we go out of there, and we go back to the desktop, close, okay. And back out of there, let's go back to the desktop. There we go, we're finally at the desktop. Now, if I now load up Days Gone from the disc, as you can see here, I've got the disc in the actual PlayStation itself. If I load this up, it will load Days Gone. And as I keep saying, this is actually on the PlayStation Now via disc. It's playing from disc. It's not streaming using PlayStation Now. So we're in again. And as you can see now, I haven't got the same options that I had before when I was streaming it. So when I was streaming it on the PC or when I was streaming it using PlayStation Now on the PlayStation, I had the option to load my games and all the rest of it. Now I'm playing off disc, it's asking me to load the game from scratch. And this is a problem. It's not an insurmountable problem though, and it's a solution that's been with PlayStation pretty much since the start of the PlayStation 4. Basically what you can do is you can go in and you can upload your save to the cloud, and then you can go back in and you can download it again, and I'll show you what I mean. If we go across to PlayStation Now on the PC again, as you can see we're there. If I now go into Days Gone, you can see it there. If I click on Start, it should start loading the game. As you can see, it's there. And it'll take a little while to load up. Right, and as you can see, I'm in. Press any button it's saying. There you go, and we're in. Now, as you can see, we've got the same options again, load game, options, and all the rest of it. Now, if I now press the PlayStation button, we've got these options: return to game, close game, application saved data management. If we select that, it'll say the application will close, so you have to OK that. And then it says save data on PlayStation Now. Go into there. Copy to online storage. So we'd select that. Days Gone. And I'm just going to select all and copy. I'm going to let's just apply to all so I can upload them all. And now we go back because it's uploaded it to the internet, to the cloud, as it were. And it's loading back up again, which is a bit of a pain, but there you go. And we're in again, so press any button. And we're back, and we've got, if you go into load, you should be able to see all the saves, so they're still there. So that's all okay on that. But if we exit the game, yes, and just go out of there and back to here, we can go home. So you can see we're on PlayStation now. Well, now what I'm going to do now is I'm going to go back to my PlayStation with the disc version of Days Gone. So let's just do that now. And it's shut me down because obviously I logged in on another machine. So let's just OK that. And it'll ask me to log in. So we log in. OK. And now, what I need to do, because those saves aren't available yet, I'm going to need to go to Settings and Application Save Data Management. I have to shut down Days Gone. Save data in system storage, save data in online storage, download to system storage. And it will take a moment. And as you can see, where before we couldn't find Days Gone, now you can see it. So if we select Days Gone, select all, you can obviously go through and select whatever you want. I'm going to select all and download. Let's just do apply to all. And it will download them all to the PlayStation. Right, so now if we go back home and we go to the disc version of Days Gone, we should find that once it loads up, it's got all those saves available to it. And here we are. Let's just press any button. And as you can see now, we're in the PlayStation itself, and we've now got those options. We've got continue, load game, and you should see all those save games that weren't there before are now there. So it does work, but it's a bit of a pain in the neck because if, for instance, you want to play on the cloud and then you want to save and play on your PlayStation, then you're going to have to remember to manually upload to the cloud every time and then manually download again. So it's a little bit of a pain in the butt. And this is one area where Microsoft have got a big advantage. If I go into Xbox and I play, say, Gears of War 5, I play Gears of War 5, I finish playing. Then I go to my PC and I load up Gears of War 5. And it carries on from exactly the same place it left off when I was playing it on my Xbox. I go to my mate's house and I log on there and I start playing Gears of War 5. Again, it carries on from where I left off. I load up xCloud. Again, it carries on from where I left off. And this isn't the case with PlayStation, either with PlayStation Now or if you go to a different PlayStation. You have to faff about with saves, which is, as I say, it's not a huge deal, but it is a bit of a pain if you're playing on PlayStation and you want to have PlayStation Now, say, on your laptop for when you go away. You could take PlayStation Now on your laptop, take a controller with you, and you could carry on playing, except you can't because the saves aren't saved across. And I'm hoping that PlayStation or Sony will do something about that as we move down the line, because as it stands at the moment, it does make it a bit clunky and a bit difficult to use. So anyway, look, that's what I think of PlayStation Now. I do think there are some issues with it. I do think that particular issue with the save games needs sorting out. I do think, things like missing games like MotorStorm, Pacific Rift could be addressed, although, that could be a license issue. And I would like to see games coming day and date, although that is a personal thing, and I know a lot of people don't like that idea. I do think that it would make PlayStation Now much more attractive. So in terms of, what it offers, it gives you a great back catalogue. It's got, frankly, it's a fantastic entry point if you're buying a PlayStation, whether it be a PlayStation 4 or down the line you're getting a PlayStation 5. If you haven't already got a back catalogue of games, like I have, then getting PlayStation Now is pretty much a no-brainer as a starting point to get you into PlayStation. The other thing as well, if you haven't got a PlayStation at all and you just want to dip your toe into PlayStation games on your PC, you can, and you can stream them. And if you decide that you like PlayStation games, particularly their first party, then, well, it gives you an opportunity to try that out. And then if you like them, you could maybe go and buy a PlayStation down the line. But yeah, for that entry point of $49.99 for a year, or $8.99 a month, or $9.99 a month, £8.99 a month, you could just go in and you could try this out. And I don't think that's a bad deal, even if you're just playing them on PC and you're streaming them that way. And the streaming, as I said before, is quite good quality. Downsides, the PC interface is bloody terrible with no real options. The PlayStation one's a lot better. I've already mentioned the missing games. No day and date releases, which I've already mentioned as well. And that save game issue. But overall, while I don't think it's quite up there with Game Pass, I think Game Pass is, as a lot of people have said, the best deal in gaming currently. I actually do think PlayStation Now is a pretty attractive option, and I don't think people should be discounting it at all. And it's only going to get better over time. But anyway, that's what I think about it. Let me know what you think about it in the comments. And if you like this one, give me a thumbs up and all the usual stuff. Subscribe, share, hit the bell, all the usual nonsense. And I am going to go and get myself a cup of tea. And I'll speak to you in the next one. Bye.